Hello everyone, and welcome to this audio podcast. This audio podcast is part of the series or chapter, the LabZtorm Diggamount. This audio podcast is part of the Cupola and Storm and Lobostics. This audio podcast is part of as part of the series or chapter as part of the Shipmo Squad, and this audio podcast is part of a Storm Robotics production. So, as part of the intro, um, so it had been forecasted. It had been forecasted that the number of patients with CIs or chronic illnesses will remain relatively stable over the next several years. Although the number of patients at the time or recipients with multiple CIs has increased from 1.9 million in 2008 in around 2008 to 2.9 million in around 2018, and this consequently has an impact on health or healthcare and lives. With At the same time, where there is the probability of patients or recipients having healthcare impacts or implications. This also increases the probability for patients or recipients with particular CIs being admitted into hospitals or for hospitalization for particular aspects of healthcare. And in line to this audio podcast, in line to this audio podcast, for those, for example, with CIs such as sickle cell anemia and sickle cell anemia or thalassemia. This also necessitates the basis in around the use of red blood cells or RBTs as part of treatment as part of treatment as part of treatments or care plans. And so at the same time, recipients with sort of the sort of more clinical CIs may not be considered suitable or not able to receive RBTs or red blood cell transfusions because of because of particular healthcare implications healthcare implications. And eGFR, or what's known as estimated glomerular filtration rate insufficiency, is also an important sort of is also important for an important sort of laboratory investigation, or part of a laboratory investigation where eGFR is it forms the calculation in around the particular laboratory investigation, is where that that the eGFR health or eGFR health in recipients in recipients in recipients therefore may therefore therefore in recipients with for example sickle cell anemia, SCA, or those who are those who have thalassemia, for example, may thus be deemed as sort of untransfusable. And at the same time, although although there are risks that have been reported and have led to sort of reevaluation of particular in around the particular use of blood products, around the use of blood products. A significant proportion of transfusion practitioners at the same time have have not always, for example, considered eGFR or aspects in around eGFR health to be related to be related as part of those who sorry as part of the care as part of the sort of investigations in around those with SCA or thalassemia, and especially in regard to where recipients may be and or patients who are at risk of developing at risk of developing sort of further healthcare further implications in around SCA and thalassemia symptomologies. Um, that draws this audio podcast to a close. This audio podcast as part of the Capola and Storm. This audio podcast as part of the LabZtorm and Diggamount. This audio podcast as part of the Shipmo Squad, and this audio podcast as part of a Storm Robotics production.